Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Nightlife Show. I'm Chris, and I am your host, but this is the first time I haven't done this one in a while, so, this is the beginning of October, and, fall's here, and, of course, summer's gone. Summer's over with and done with till next year. Yeah, I gotta tell you, if you have seen my video, have not seen this during the summer, but here comes the fall. School's back in session. Anyways, before I begin on my show, just a reminder, I'll give you a quick note here. On this episode of the 4 o'clock game, I've posted every Friday, I did a feature called Force Friday, where we featured all the Star Wars games in honor of the upcoming movie Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, which comes out later this year in December, which is going to be about 2 months from now. The new Star Wars movie will be coming out. And I did some playthroughs of all the stuff on the 4 o'clock game. And, of course, there's a couple of other things. I've been played a lot of Star Wars games, including the Super Star Wars game. That's what they called A New Hope. I did play through the whole game because I have not done any Star Wars game in quite a long time, because what happened is I did beat the game. Yep, it took me nearly 2 hours to complete the game, and I know this was the only Star Wars game, Super Nintendo game, that did not include the password system. The Super Empire Strikes Back and Super Return of the Jedi had the only game. The other two games have the password system. Yeah, this one, the first one, does not. So, if you haven't seen my videos of my playthroughs, just go check out my videos on my channel and see what it does. I did a great job of doing the playthroughs of all the actual game, but the other level is the old big compactor thing. It's like they did, but the sandcrawler thing. I'm just gonna tell you, the sandcrawler stage looks terribly bad. I don't know why. It gets really frustrated when I first started. I did my attempt at climbing up those platforms. If you miss the platform, you fall down to your doom, and this is what happens. I don't know why this is happening, because they put platforms. You got to time it correctly if you have to jump. If you missed it, you fall off and go all the way back to the beginning, and then that's kind of strange, and it's kind of not great. I just wanted to let you know that I have not done this in a long time ago, and just what I did. After that, I finally beat the game and defeating the Death Star, and then that was it. So, after a couple of attempts to go there, it took me almost 2 hours to complete the game. After all the pain and frustration, after talking to them, after a couple of things I've been doing for a lot of people have enjoyed this thing. So, it's a pretty good game. It's very hard. But, you'll have to recommend this as well if you can tell all about it. Alright, enough said with the Star Wars thing. So I will do more Star Wars on the way. And we'll have more Star Wars games on the way. And this is going to be more about that soon. Okay, maybe next week we'll do a little bit of a Star Wars game going on. It's going to be on the 4 o'clock game. It will be Super Empire Strikes Back and Super Return of the Jedi. Alright, enough said. We got a couple of things I can say, to say the least. I have to say, today we're going to be going back and we're going to be talking about my singing. Yep. I first done this since September the 30th that was like the last day of September. It was on the day Johnny Mathis turned 80 years old. We'll give a happy birthday to Johnny Mathis, who's the singer. Who was best known for Chances Are, Twelfth of Never, Wonderful, Misty, and a couple of other ones. Yep, he's 80 years old. So I know my family's a big fan of Johnny Mathis, but I always wanted to make sure. Yeah, I know there are a lot of Johnny Mathis songs that's on YouTube, so I'll just check. We'll check that out if you have not seen this one. So let's get to business right there, shall we? Today we're going to do a subject on singing. Singing is my absolute thing. You know what? When I was a kid, I started singing songs. I was in school. A lot of group of kids are singing my songs, like "You Got a Friend" and all this kind of songs. I don't know at the time. I was on stage when I was at school singing songs. And you know what? I was like, when I was first heard it when I was a kid, I was in the church singing those old songs. You know, those religious songs. That was when I was like at a Catholic church. You know, there was a church called St. Stephen's Church that is in on Summit Street in Brooklyn, and that was at the time. I remember my first time I have been to the church, and it was like some memories. I always like singing, harmonizing. Yep, I actually harmonized this, and of course I have a lot of stuff there. And I was become a more Catholic and become more a more Catholic. Yeah, it is actually more Catholic as ever because I have done many times. I've been said before, but this is interesting to see what it is. It's very nice to see those other songs. I sang enough songs songs I heard on the radio, songs I've played were older songs, but this is interesting. I remember my uncle, who lived in Brooklyn at the time. I heard him singing. That's right, he does a lot of singing and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, that is actually right. The singing is what they did a good job with it. I know. Yeah. Back in the late 80s, early 90s, I heard him. They got the karaoke machine. When I thought I heard that, and it was also they brought in the first karaoke machine, which I have is a Singleodian. If you want to look it up on eBay, well, first off, I'll tell you all about this. I was just gonna look it up on eBay and see what it is. It's okay. It's the first one I think I remember at the time was this. This is the yep, there it is. There's the Singleodian. It's a vintage Lone Star dual cassette karaoke machine from possibly in the 90s, if you may remember that. I don't know. That's it's called it's a Lone Star brand, but yeah, I'm sure if I forgot, I don't remember that at the time. And of course, here it is. This is a model K8. Yep, this is the one I remember at the time, but nope, not the actual model. But here's the one I remember. There's some karaoke stuff, and here's the one. I think if you're not familiar with it, this is a Lone Star brand, and it's got the shut-off mechanism. It's got a dual cassette deck or something. It's got a headphone. It's got that little stereo speakers in the center. It was for a microphone. Yep, it looks like it had those Mickey Mouse shaped speakers. It looks like who designed this thing. It looked like, yeah, I know why they designed a Mickey Mouse type speaker. It looks like it's speaker cones. And I forgot to mention this. If I know there was one if I don't remember that at that time, it was a pretty nifty system. Yeah, it was a pretty good system at the time. There were a couple of models, the Lone Star Singleodian. It's like it's a karaoke machine, and I used to have one of those type of brands. And if you don't know, it's got a whole bunch of dual cassette karaoke machine, and it's also it's got some couple of things. It's got and it has the original cassette, and there's actually I see blank tapes or other things. There's a couple of other ones, and I think this is the complete version. Some background music. There's like microphone, and there's like other things. But yeah, it's got two microphones and the whole thing. And this was the karaoke, and I always know how to do this. But I remember at the time when I first had this thing, it was very nice. It's a very good karaoke machine when I first owned it, and I think it was a very nice one. I think to get back to this thing. Yes, it's a pretty nifty way. They have a lot of good Singleodian type items, and it's got the you sing the hits. Yeah, it says perfect songs, you sing the hits. It's got a whole bunch of other things. Yeah, it's pretty nice. So I just want to say this: karaoke is a big thing, and if you haven't recognized karaoke. First, they got the hits of I don't own any of these cassettes because I remember the first time I've had it. It was a very good karaoke machine. If you have not heard of before, Here's your bet, because this is actually very nice. But I remember used to have one at the time, and this is interesting. I think this is interesting. If you have not seen, if you have a right to have one, this is interesting because karaoke machines are very good for singing. And I remember the first one I had on VHS was the video karaoke, and it's like it has lyrics, the music videos that go with it. It's like it was all on VHS, and you'll have to type it in right now. And yes, these are all the video karaoke stuff. Yeah, and this one, it says a multiplex stereo karaoke VHS. There's like volume 1. There's also volume 2 and all this stuff. Well, this is all the karaoke stuff that is on there, but all the other ones, except the other, I don't have any of these information on these karaoke because, yeah, it's a perfect sing-along, and all the stuff that is in here. So, after all the karaoke and all the stuff is over the years, this was back when there was no internet, YouTube, or anything like this. So, when long after this karaoke machine came out, but there were lyrics included thanks to YouTube. There were some videos of all the lyrics and the whole thing. You got to include this with YouTube. So thanks to YouTube for finding searching under the name karaoke. And of course, my first attempt at making this video I just did is to look it up online, and I was looking up all the information. I have not done this, and yes, there's karaoke. There are a bunch of them out there. It's got a whole bunch of lyrics and the whole thing. It's like, wow, this is a very, very nice to see all the karaokes. Yep, there's a bunch of all these stuff from Taylor Swift and Nick Jonas to Katy Perry, Bruno Mars. These are all the current artists. And then there's also all the oldies stuff from Johnny Mathis to Johnny Maestro to Five Satins to the Dion, the Belmonts to the Skyliners. There's a lot of 60s stuff like the Beatles or Elvis, Elvis Presley. There's like the 50s. There's Beatles, Rolling Stones. Engelbert Humperdinck. There was a lot of good stuff out there or possibly a Dean Martin. Yeah, Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra. There's a whole bunch of these out there in the world of music, as well as sometimes could be Disney music. But yeah, I know they're okay. But as for the Disney music that I sing, they're okay, but I don't know, or any of them are show tunes. Sometimes I like to sing show tunes. I think it would be a good thing. So here's what we're gonna do right now. I know there's a video on YouTube. I'm gonna give a big shout out to before we go in here. There is a YouTube channel under the name of Hannah Richardson. Who was he was a singer. I first got into YouTube when I first got Hannah Richardson. There she is. She did a great job singing. I know she sang very nice. She did a great, excellent job. She does a lot of good stuff. She's 9 years old. She's actually from 10 or she's 13. I know. I think she's all grown. Going back to her youth, and you know what? This is one of the first times I've ever seeing Hannah Richardson singing when she was that young. The first song that he did, going back to her days, was look at this. This is so interesting. Oh yeah, Blown Away. There's she did Carrie Underwood. She did all the stuff in here. And the first song that she called the first original song "The Country Bug." That's when she did her first original song. And of course, "I Want to Be a Rockette" when she was 8 years old. She also did all the stuff from "What I Haven't Heard From You." She sang a lot. She did a beautiful version. She also did Connie Francis songs. Wow, I think Hannah Richardson did a great job. She also did two of her Connie Francis songs that were originally done by Connie Francis, "Follow the Boys" and "Where the Boys Are." I've heard anything. Yeah, both were originally Connie Francis songs, and Hannah Richardson struck her best. Wow. And Everything's Coming Up Roses from Gypsy. It was originally sung by Ethel Merman. Wow, that's just why she did a great job. I always want to do this sometime in the future because this is interesting. Wow, a big shout out to Hannah Richardson, she was from Pennsylvania. She was originally from Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. She was a great guy. She had her first album. I know she has her second album. So I have the original album, which I have on iTunes, because this is actually great. So I'll give big shout out to Hannah. Great job. And also, I'm going to give a little bit of shout out here for what we're going to talk about. Autumn Ray, was this Autumn Ray? Well, this is like, I forgot his name. It's Autumn Ray Shannon. I think she was young at the time. Yes, she is. Yeah, she is very young at that time. She could sing better than this. Wow. Yep, Autumn Ray Shannon. She sang a lot of great songs. She's a fan of Barbra Streisand. You know what? I used to have all the records. I have it on vinyl. I used to have the vinyls of all Streisand albums. I had it on vinyl, but I gave it away, so I had it on iTunes. Thank goodness. I know I always want to do. She is doing better job. You know what? She could do better than that. Like, she's actually sometimes she sang Streisand songs. Wow. I know my mother loves Barbra Streisand. So does my uncle. It's a big fan. I know this is very nice. She did songs like Let It Go from Frozen. She did she sang Aretha Franklin's Respect. She sang Leanne Rhine's Blue. And she sang a lot of all the songs that she sang. I mean, wow. She's a great talent. I mean, wow. She has one of the greatest youngest talent singers in existence. Talking to the Moon, like Bruno Mars. I'm not a big Bruno Mars fan. Where Are You Christmas? There's actually Shy from Once Upon a Mattress. I don't have the record. I have the cast recording of it on iTunes. I don't have the vinyl, which I saw it on eBay one time, since I didn't have of gift cards yet. So at the time, there's a lot of good stuff on here. There's going back to the beginning. I know she was 3 years old. She started singing when she was 3. And there's a video of Autumn Ray practicing in the studio. That's right. You want to see the video, go check it out. There's actually a 3-year-old Autumn Ray. She started to sing. I know. She began her singing career when she was little. I mean, when she was very little at the time. I would give a shout out to that. And one more thing, I have to give it a little bit of a shout out here. His name is Avery Winter. If you have never heard of Avery Winter she's very talented. She's great. So she sang a lot of good stuff, good songs. She did Carrie Underwood. She covered a lot of good stuff. She did Alicia Keys' No One. She did Jessie J's Mama Knows Best. There's Brenda Lee with Jambalaya. Originally was, Joe Stafford originally did this one, but I'm not sure. And there's actually Christmas Baby Please Come Home by Mariah Carey. It was then Avery Winter did this one. Wow. That's very nice. And she was a very great talented singer. And if you have not heard of her, just go on there and check it out. Okay, enough said with this shout outs. Well, great singing abilities. I always love to sing songs. I always want to sing songs back again because I forgot to mention Karen Ng. Oh yeah, Karen Ng. That's the name. She did a great job of doing her singing abilities. She sang a lot of great songs. Man, she does a great job. And if you go on Facebook or whatever, you can see his name. And I'm not sure if yet. Yes, it is. That's right. She sang beautifully well. And yep, that's one of her great songs. You know what? She had a beautiful voice when she did her singing. I can't believe she did a great job. She sang a lot of 60s songs. She sang a lot of Broadway songs, oldie songs, and a bunch of other ones. Man, that's how time goes. This is what I did. There were a bunch of videos of all the people who does cover songs. Does a lot of Sometimes he doesn't do Motown cover or anything. I will do a Motown cover or two soon in the future. So I'm going to do right now. I'm going to do some singing right now because I can follow the lyrics to one of the most popular songs of all time. And this is very interesting to say. It's great to hear a lot of good stuff. It's great. Big thanks to a lot of you, all the people who've been on YouTube. So I'm going to start doing this for the first time. Now I'm going to do my karaoke. The first time I'm going to do it right now since the last time I did this since like years ago when I was young at the time. I began to sing songs. So I was want to do it like this. Since 1995, I had this in my home movie library because I had this in one of my home movies, including myself was celebrating the new year. This was like back in 95, 96, whatever. He sang a lot of great songs. I did some singing. Yeah, this is what I did. I just did a beautiful voice. What a great voice it is. So I would say thanks to all of the people who's been involving with this singing career. So I did put up this one. Here's the good thing. I did post it on back on Thursday. I got home from work after tired of complaining about the music at my job. When I hear any song that I want to sing, well, guess what? I went back and I started to sing again. Let me tell you, I always love to sing. So I'm gonna do something where I'm gonna do, and when I go on YouTube, I decided to do something different. It's a karaoke time. This is where I'm going to be doing for my new show. What I'm going to be doing for the feature is Singing Time. Okay, Singing Time is going to be more like a new series we're going to be starting off soon, which I'm going to be work on. So this is going to be more fun than ever because this is where I want to tell you all about the song, the 12th of Never. Because when I first got this thing, when I got home, I started to look up online. And I did it. And I finally did it. That's the song, the 12th of Never. It's going to be one of them in there because this is it. I've got it. It's right over here, and you can tell. This got to be my favorite song, my favorite Johnny Mathis song of all time, and it was called the 12th of Never, but by Johnny Mathis. It was sung by Johnny Mathis. I forgot to tell you. This is absolutely the most popular song I've ever heard of, and it's become one of my favorites. And this has got to be the one that I just did. If you have not heard the 12th of Never, this was one of the best songs. It was originally released as the B-side to the hit Chances Are. And yeah, Chances Are is on there, but yeah, that's on there. So I'm gonna look up in the history thing and see what it looks like. Yeah, this is where I'm gonna check that out. I found something that I got today, and I'm just gonna look it up and see what it is. Where I started singing it that looked like this. I always want to do something completely different here, but I really like to sing some songs here. But this is definitely my all-time favorite. I gotta go run through this thing, and I want to show you the whole thing. It's okay. I gotta do something here because I'm looking this up here for a moment. I'm just gonna browsing through the thing that I want to show you guys. Something like that. Okay. I'm looking up sometime because this is what I want to do this because yeah, the 12th of Never is like the karaoke version. Okay, I just want to tell you something. This is going to do this one because what happened is when I first got this thing, I discovered it, and we're going to show you to tell you right now, because here's what I am going to do with the singing, okay? Just hold on a second, because here's the thing. I'm going to give you the thing at the end of the video that I'm going to give you the hookup to the how to take the microphone or the whole thing. So we're going to do this right now. So before we stop the video, I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour here. So here's where I get the equipment of using the sing on a karaoke. So first up, here's what I'm going to be doing. I'm using a vintage microphone. See what you can see. We'll talk about this at the end of the video. So, and of course, I hooked it right to the mixer, into the stereo, and then we can do some singing. So to sing a song, all you gotta do is put the volume on the mixer here, because this is what I'm gonna be doing it right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, we're gonna do this right now. So, okay, before we do, let's stop the video, and we'll come right back, and we'll tell you all about it. Alright, I'm here in my room right now. I'm just going to be getting ready to do some singing, folks. Here's an interesting thing. I have a microphone. I'm using a vintage old 1960s microphone that I'm using right now for my karaoke machine, and hook up directly to where it says mic on there. Yeah, you can see it right into the mixer. And you see the back of it. You can see it's hooked back to this three-way selector. If you can hook it up right into the stereo amplifier, it hooks directly to it. So this is all we need to set up. This is an interesting setup for you guys. I'm using a mixer. It hooks directly to the computer, right into there, and you can see the microphone is actually done very well. So, I have several microphones I have in my room, because I use a different type of microphones I'm using, because yeah, but the microphone is not too bad. If you want to go on eBay, if you have a better microphone like this, look at this. It's wired it right halfway. Yeah, it's kind of short right into the wire. It looks, yeah, this lacks the expansion of the wires. So, yeah, it's kind of a cheaply made microphone that I had this. I have another microphone, which I have in my room somewhere, but this has, I also have a microphone in my room. There's, I don't know if I had to go to my desk and go through. Here we go. Yep, there's actually came out of a Sears cassette recorder. And yeah, it looks pretty good. And these were all... Yeah, it has a remote and mic jacks. That was the connectors, connecting the male plugs. It's pretty nice. If you have seen all the microphones, they're all look great. So as for right now, I am using the microphone right now so I can do my singing, and of course, I just want to tell you all about that. So, and it's all ready to do karaoke. Now it's actually time to use it up. So, after all that set up, right before I did my singing, I spoke to my mother and she thanked me for it, because I thanked her for it, and she told me that my voice sounded beautifully, and actually, she told me I sounded just like my dad, my first dad. You know, my dad usually taught me to sing. You know. My dad used to sing songs all the time, and I know my dad was like a good singer at the time when it was my real dad. My first dad was usually a singer, kind of like they did with those karaoke. You know, this was back when karaoke doesn't even exist. So I always use microphones and all this stuff. That is interesting to do that. So yeah, at the time my dad was a singer at one time, but this is what I actually did. We know my dad actually sang it and all this stuff right before my time. Well, that's very nice. So I always love to do this, because I always want to do my vocal cords. So this is what I'm going to be doing right now. And you know, she thanked me for it, and my dad, Bobby, my stepdad told me I sounded beautiful. And they did a good job. So I really like to say give big thanks to my mother. My mom thanked me for it, so I hope everybody enjoys that. So if anybody out there, if you love my singing, if you want to do, we're gonna start this song right to the video. So without further ado, let's get back to the screen, and we're gonna do. It's ready. It's time for me to sing. So stand by. All right. Now I'm back on the computer screen, and we're going to be doing this right now. Everything is going to be completed, and everything is finally set up and ready to be going. Okay, so I actually, like I said, I'm using this microphone, my old vintage microphone, so I can sing my songs. So we're going to do this right now. I'm going to practice to see what I look like, because if I'm going to be more like a Johnny Mathis, I'm going to be doing this, but I'm going to prepare myself to be ready, folks. This is going to be awesome. So, and now, for the first time on my YouTube channel, I'm going to sing my song. And yes, I'm going back to karaoke. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do something different right now. And so, we're going to start off with one of my all-time favorites. And you know what? I chose this one as my favorite song of all time. And you know what? I like this one because let me tell you, this song makes a great one for me. So sit back and relax, and what we're going to hear, what I'm going to be doing is me singing Johnny Mathis's The 12th of Never. So I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to be doing this right now. So here you go. Enjoy. Okay. Here we go. Any second now. You ask how much I need you. Must I explain? I need you, oh my darling, like roses need rain. You ask how long I'll love you. I'll tell you true, until the 12th of never, I'll still be loving you. Hold me close, never let me go. Hold me close, melt my heart like April snow. I'll love you till the bluebells forget to bloom. I'll love you till the clover has lost its perfume. I'll love you till the poets run out of rhyme, until the 12th of never, and that's a long, long time. Until the 12th of never, and that's a long, long time. Wow. Gotta love that voice anyway. Yep, I did that. This is what I sang my song, and you can tell. Wow, that is very, very nice. What a great voice. I love my voice. I always do my voice. This is what I did singing. I am going back to do my singing, and I have to do that a great job. So, man, a lot of people are thinking, well, out there, if you're watching this video, wow. I had a great singing voice, but I always enjoyed them very well. Man, I got to go back and do something. What I'm going to be doing right now, I'm going to keep singing right now because I'm going to do this every so often. I'm going to do some songs that I'm going to be doing that on that video that I'm going to be talking about, because the 12th of Never is definitely my favorite song of all time. You can tell Johnny Mathis, everything sounds great because he knows he does that in the original, but you can tell this is interesting. Well, nice one. That's a great voice. Man, I always love to say this, folks. It's very interesting to say. It is my personal thing. So in that case, that's it. That's going to wrap up this edition of the Nightlife show. And I would say thanks for watching for all this stuff. And you know what? Tell me what you think about this one. So leave in the comment section and tell us what you think about my song, my voice, and everything. So, anyways, and that's it. So until the next time, then, this is Chris, and I will see you again real soon.